focus. You get up a little bit. They put some pressure. They're averaging 25, 26 turnovers a game. But, Campbellsville pressured us too, and we turned it over 11, 12, 13 times.
13.
There's no reason we should have turned it over that many times. And that's just really disappointing, and I'm not real happy about that. But we put 98 points on the board. We did share the ball. Had 23 assists. It was really, really good. 98 points. We were 22 of 30 from the free throw line, which is pretty good.
Almost 60% from the field.
Yeah, 10 of 18. I thought Ashton played pretty well. Hannah did a good job for us. Madison was once again pretty excellent. He had 17, 8, and 5. Ashton had 19, 9, and 5. So they all did a pretty good job at times, and you can't ding them on a lot for that. And I thought Lyd played well. In 11 minutes, she had 20 points. So we got what we needed out of her. So there's a lot of positives, a lot of bright spots. So we'll be all right.
All right. Once again, congratulations, Coach. Shawnee State take this one home, 98-54 against Life. We'll let you get back to the locker room. Thanks again, Coach.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Coach. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So after that win from Shawnee State, we'll take a break, step away for a little while until we get started with the men's action.
Yeah, just for our network, we will stay live on WZAA in Jeffersonville. We will restart our broadcast for the men's game. And for those of you that are watching that want to watch the second game, you'll have to switch on Campus Nation from the women's game to the men's game to pick up that game. We'll be back shortly. Well, once again, we are ready for men's basketball here from Shawnee State. The Bears are going to take on Lifeview, the Running Eagles, on CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports, and also on WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio, Fayette County, Ohio, for those of you that may not be familiar, or maybe some of those that you might be tuning in from the Marietta, Georgia area. We want to welcome you to our broadcast. You probably watched at least part of that women's game. Shawnee State handling the Lifeview Lady Running Eagles, and we're getting ready now for men's basketball here as the nightcap will be underway in about 8 minutes. It's the 8 o'clock hour. We're going to take our legal ID on WZAA. We will be back.
106.9 WZAA LP, Jeffersonville.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today, 855-OCU-GRAD, or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
And we want to thank Ohio Christian University in Circleville, Ohio, as one of our sponsors for CampusNation.com's broadcast, as well as WZAA 106.9 LPFM. Want to remind our people that are listening in the area that tomorrow morning on our Morning Zoo from 7 to 10, Charlie Hargrave, and a real treat coming back in, and we've seen him on the air in the morning live, because we also stream as well as provide the audio for our over-the-air broadcast. We have Sean Poole coming in. Sean Poole, a musician of the nth degree, and he will be on the air with us tomorrow morning, probably around the 9 o'clock hour. Marianne will also be in with Charlie, and who knows who will stop by our studios for the broadcast at 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning on WZAA 106.9 LPFM or WZAA LPFM.com.
Now it's the men's turn to duke it out here in Frank and Janice Waller Gymnasium at Shawnee State University. The Bears taking on the Running Eagles, of course. Shawnee State coming into this game at 10-10 on the season, right at 500, 1-4 in Mid-South Conference play. Life, on the other hand, in the top 25 nationally at 25. They're 15-6 on the season and 3-2 in Mid-South Conference play. Shawnee State coming off a tough loss on the road to Campbellsville, who's receiving votes for top 25. And they lost that game 66-58. Life, on the other hand, won their last conference matchup at Cumberland by a score of 69-68. That sounds like it was an exciting game.
That would have been.
Shawnee State lost 2 straight, looking to rebound here today as they go on a few-game home stretch. They'll have Cumberland Saturday, Rio Grande on Tuesday, and Pikeville on February 1st. We'll go ahead and get you some starting lineups here as we're about 2 minutes away from tip. First, for the visiting Running Eagles, number 0, Undra Mitchum, 14.7 points a game, the 6'2 guard, senior from Leesburg, Florida, by way of Barry University, kind of their offensive leader. Number 2, Michael Miller, the 5'10 guard, senior from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Number 10, David Scott, 10.4 points a game this season, the 6'5", 185 junior guard from Louisville, Kentucky, by way of the Christian Academy of Louisville. Number 11, Zach Landis, 12 points a game, 9 rebounds, leads the Mid-South in rebounds per game, the 6'4 guard, senior from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Number 21, Jay Johnson, the 6'7 forward from Versailles, Kentucky, coming in at 230 pounds. He will be a tough matchup in the post. Senior transfer from Marshall University. For Shawnee State, they are led by Jalen Carter, the senior guard from right here in Portsmouth, Ohio at 6'1", 175, transferred from Ashland University. Jalen averaging just about 15.5 points a night. Number 11, Jay Morrell, the senior forward, 6'4", 205 from Columbus by way of Mifflin High School. And number 14, Brian Rolfe, sophomore guard, 6'4", 190 from Lucasville, Ohio, right down the road at Lucasville Valley High School. And the freshman, number 21, Justin Johnson, the 6'9 sophomore forward. I shouldn't say freshman, first year here at Shawnee State from Cincinnati, Ohio. Played his first year of eligibility at Urbana University, transferred into Shawnee this year. And the true freshman, E.J. Onu, making a huge impact this season, 10 points a game, averaging almost 4 blocks a game as well. EJ also leads the country in blocks per game as well as total blocks. He is 6'10", 215 from Cleveland, Ohio, by way of Richmond Heights High School. They are coached in Delano Thomas in his first year. On the other hand, Life University, coached by Keith Atkins in his second year, 363 and 221 in his coaching career in the NAIA. Be an interesting matchup today. Shawnee State likes to run the floor, guard the floor, the full court. On defense, they run a pressure system pretty much the whole game, and that will hopefully disrupt the Life fast, high-octane offensive attack that's got them ranked number 25 in the country coming into this game. The girls took care of business in the first half of this doubleheader.
They certainly did.
Yes, they did, 98-54. Not a very interesting game. Once you got into the second quarter, things were pretty much all Shawnee State. So as they introduce the starting lineups here, we're just about a minute and a half from tip. Give you a couple stats here for Shawnee State. They average No, excuse me, this is for Life University. Start out with them. They average about 80 points a game on 44% shooting. Pretty efficient offensively this season. Got my sheets all mixed up here. There we go. For Shawnee State, they average just under 80 at 78.2 points a game, shooting 45% on the season. 36% from three-point range. That due in part to Matt Smith, the transfer from Rio Grande, Matt Rhodes, the transfer from Rio Grande, really coming in and making an impact. Only played 6 games for the Bears so far. Matt Rhodes already averaging 9.9 points a game, just about at 10. Rhodes shoots 51% from beyond the arc, taking 29 shots, made 15 of those on the season. So if you see Shawnee State get down a couple buckets, look for Matt Rhodes to come in and take a couple quick threes. He's deadly off the catch and shoot. So that will be a weapon I'm sure they will use against Life University here today.
So we've got a fresh 20 on the clock. First half of play on campusnation.com, the sports animal. Your home for high school and college sports. Just about ready to start this ball game. The nightcap to the 2 games that we do back-to-back on WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio, and campusnation.com.
Pretty decent turnout for a weekday here at Shawnee State in the Cave. Got a few students out here. As they introduce the starting lineups, I'd say we're just about 4, close to just over 350, 400, around there.
Probably so, yeah. It is a nice crowd for midweek, you're right.
Definitely expect to see a larger turnout Saturday. Another conference opponent come to town in Cumberland, Tennessee. As we really start to hit the tail end of conference play here, teams really figuring out where they stand nationally as well as in the conference, looking down the stretch at a chance for Kansas City in the tournament. Life definitely in that discussion. Shawnee State's got some work to do, kind of a long shot for them. But as we talked about before, this has been kind of a building year for Shawnee State under first-year head coach Delano Thomas. As I said, he's a team over me guy, so looks for these guys to spread the ball around. There's no stars. And like you said, if you're an older guy and you're not going to take leadership over this team and make responsible decisions, then one of the younger guys that's willing to step up will take your place. And I think that coaching style will pay dividends in the future, definitely creating an unselfish attitude, kind of the same one we see with the girls team. And we've already seen that make its impact here early in the season. So it'll be E.J. Onu going up for the tip for Shawnee State, going up against Jay Johnson. Onu's got about 3 inches. But Johnson's got about 15 pounds on Onu.
He's a solid player, it looks like.
And that tip is won by Life. And Life, here they go, the running Eagles. Running the point, Michael Miller. Guarded by Jay Morrell, top of the key. Now Jay Johnson, back over to Miller. 15 on the shot clock. Miller works it downstairs, outside. Undren Mitchin from the corner, wide open 3 there, does not fall. That one shot by number 10, David Scott. Then down at the other end, Jalen Carter found E.J. Onu, tried to save it because he was going out of bounds. Ends up in the hands of Life, and the running Eagles hit a 3 at the other end. Wow.
That was fast.
Whoa is correct. Undren Mitchum with the 3 with an arm in his face. So now it's Shawnee State. Life ahead by 3 early. Brian Rolfe working around the perimeter. Rolfe looking for the pass, finds Jay Morrell in the corner. Jay Morrell's 3-point shot up and no good. Rebounded by Mitchum. And Zach Landis driving, kicks it out. Miller over to David Scott, driving and blocked by E.J. Onu. Onu says, oh no, to David Scott, and he's blocked on his drive to the basket.
Now have you used that before?
I have. I've trademarked that term this season.
I was going to say, put it on a T-shirt.
And that ball is stolen away after the rebound from Life, and Jalen Carter finishes with the floater. So now Shawnee State's got 2 points on the board. It's 3-2. And really, it has been exciting to watch E.J. Onu this season. We haven't seen a player this dynamic as Shawnee State, arguably since Coach Delano Thomas himself kind of nudges E.J. a little bit. E.J.'s on his way to breaking records set by Delano Thomas. And now the running Eagles again blocked. E.J. another block. It's 2 straight blocks. 3 blocks already. We're not even 2 minutes in. E.J. Onu already having a night. My goodness. E.J. looking sharp today and smiling down at the other end. Looked like Jay Johnson nudged him like, come on, man, give me a chance. All 6'10" of him. He barely even has to tiptoe to touch the rim. So now Brian Rolfe finds Justin Johnson, who tried to make a move to the basket, knocked down Zach Landis. No foul, but he lost the ball. So with 1 on the shot clock, Shawnee State will inbound.
This is going to be rough. 1 second.
Really, maybe just lob it up.
And shoot it at the same time.
I
All
guess.
one action,
Yeah.
I would imagine. Okay, so they need some floor maintenance. Is that what they're saying?
Looks like it. There's some jawing going on between Andrew Mitchum and Jay Morrell.
So we're already getting chippy. Is that what we're saying?
Already. It's Mid-South Conference play.
You sure they're not maybe just exchanging Facebook requests or
Maybe
something
not.
like that?
No, maybe.
Can you hook me up on Instagram?
Like, hey, man, you snap me.
Snapchat, right. All right.
So it looks like Shawnee State comes over to the bench to talk to Delano Thomas. Probably saying, don't worry about these guys.
Right. Let's not get in the weeds.
So now the floor is cleaned up. 1 second on the shot clock for Jay Morrell to inbound. 3-2. The score. Running Eagles ahead by 1. Jay Morrell to Jalen Carter. Fadeaway jumper, no good.
Well, he got it off.
He did. It was a good-looking shot. Not bad. So now it's Michael Miller going to work for the Running Eagles. Running Eagles 15-6 on the season, looking to improve to 4-2 in conference play. And Landis driving, kicks it out. Spot-up shot on the way from Scott, and that's good. Scott with the shot baseline. And a nice little play there from the Running Eagles.
I would imagine they've run that play several times during the year.
Looks like Zach Landis had a good look at the basket, kind of jumped up and passed it to the corner. Now here comes Shawnee State. Jalen Carter to E.J. Onu, top of the key, back to Carter. Hesitates, Carter drives to Justin Johnson baseline, down low to Jay Morrell, saves it from going out of bounds. Brian Rolfe from 3.
Back
Brian
out, got it.
Rolfe gets the first three-point bucket for the Bears.
So we're all tied up here, 5-all.
5-all, and a spot-up shot from Andrew Mitchum does not hit. Rebounded by E.J. Onu. Now here comes Jalen Carter to Onu, and Onu, keep an eye on him every now and again. He likes to make a shot from the outside. He can. Not the most efficient three-point shooter, but he can get it done. That three-point shot misses, coming from Brian Rolfe. Now it's Michael Miller. Again for the Running Eagles. Miller setting up the play. Miller driving. A wide open shot.
Oh, nice.
Good. That one coming from Jay Johnson. Kind of a defensive breakdown. Found Johnson wide open on the corner, but then on the other end, Jalen Carter. Too quick for even us to notice. Drove baseline and got the layup.
We blinked.
We did. It's 8-7 ball game now. Shawnee State staying with them, and that's really been their problem, is falling behind early. They've beat a lot of teams in the second half and ended up with an L in the score sheet because they got 2 behind in the first quarter, so need to keep up the intensity early on. Jay Johnson, another 3 off the screen, and Johnson is no good. Rebounded by our own Johnson, Justin Johnson, with the rebound for Shawnee State. Now it's Jay Morrell at the other end. Jay Morrell down to E.J. Onu, backing down, and they'll say Onu traveled.
So a little shuffling of the feet and a travel, and we'll be going back the other way.
So now Fred Moore checks in for Justin Johnson.
Well, not that I've ever seen an Eagle run, but running Eagles is apropos for this team because they certainly know how to run.
Absolutely. Very fast-paced offense. They don't like to run a lot in the half court, but they can. Here's Zach Landis driving tough to the basket, kicks it out to Jay Johnson, and then a wide-open shot from Miller does not fall.
Good rebound.
Yeah, quick ball movement there from Running Eagles, doing a good job of finding the open man on the outside. And now it's Jay Morrell, thought about the shot, kicks it out to Brian Rolfe. Brian Rolfe, top of the key. Triple threat moves over to Onu, takes one of those three-point shots I was talking about,
nice.
hits it. E.J. Onu having a game already, 3 blocks, got a three-pointer of his own, couple rebounds. The true freshman, I told him earlier in this season I was going to intercept his mail so he doesn't get any offers to leave. Be nice to watch this guy for 3 more years. Jay Johnson backing down Onu. Got just overpowered Onu. Used that 15 pounds he's got on 6'10" EJ.
So we're all tied up here at 14:30 in the first half of play.
10-10. Fred Moore, spot up 3. No good from Moore. Rebound by Jalen Carter, who
and a foul.
So Jalen Carter grabs the miss from Fred Moore, puts it up all in the same motion, and was fouled. So a chance for 3 for Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter, their leading scorer, 15.5 a night. Jalen Carter, 5th in the Mid-South in terms of points per game. An elite playmaker for this team. Complements nicely with the post ability of EJ Onu as well as Fred Moore. Now we've got sophomore Selby Hind Wills checking into the game. Came across the pond to play from Crawley, England. So now 12-10, Shawnee State with the lead after those free throws from Jalen Carter. Mitchum finds Scott down low. Back up top, Mitchum to Jay Johnson, wide open from 3. And I'm not even sure what the defense was. A lot of hands up from Shawnee State, like, where's the guy? Jay Johnson was wide open and hit the 3. Now it's Selby in the corner. Finds Tamal Watkins, who drives. Mid-range shot from Watkins, up and no good. Gets his own long rebound. Watkins to Jalen Carter, over to Selby Hind Wills. Fred Moore goes to work in the low post against Landis. Moore spinning, going up and blocked by Jay Johnson, who just straight took it away from him. And now here come the running Eagles. Jay Johnson back to Mitchum. Mike Miller to Zach Landis. Landis on the wing against Selby. Landis finds David Scott outside. Jay Johnson is wide open once again. And really now, what is going on? Jay Johnson misses that one luckily, but he is wide open. Now 13-12, running Eagles up 1. Selby Hind Wills in the corner, works it down low to Jalen Carter. Selby threaded the needle. Carter was under the basket. Carter gets the 2. Now it's Shawnee State lead, 14-13 with 13 left here in the first half. Miller driving, almost lost his own dribble. Back to Landis. Zach Landis spun off the screen, open from 3. That one's up and no good. So 14-13 the score, 12:48 left here in the first half. Close ball game here in the first 8 minutes. Justin Johnson, top of the key, finds Tamal Watkins. Jalen Carter moving off the screen from Justin Johnson. Carter, top of the key to Selby Hind Wills on the wing. Selby's three-point shot falls. And Selby Hind Wills heating up from 3. 17-13 ball game now against number 25, Life U here at home. Like we said before the game, and there's a double dribble there from Mitchum. Like we said before the game, Shawnee State has the ability to run with any team. It's just kind of inconsistencies in the first half. It's been hard for them to get their act together early. They've fallen behind to a couple good teams early and not able to make their way back into it. So hopefully they can keep up this same kind of intensity and efficiency that they have early
throughout
on.
both halves.
Yes.
That's the key.
Shawnee State 9-1 on the season when they lead at the end of the first half. Down low to Fred Moore. Nice move by Fred Moore. Gets the bucket. Shawnee State with their biggest lead of the night. 6-point lead for them. It's 19-13. Mitchum over to Miller, over to Landis. Landis on the left side wing, goes to work on Selby, drives. Kicks it back out to Mitchum. Hand in his face from Jalen Carter, calls the screen. Mitchum opposite of the screen. Back out to Devon. Dorsett. Dorsett drives. And a foul called on Justin Johnson. And a timeout called.
All right, we have a timeout. We're going to take a quick break here. You're listening to CampusNation.com, the sports animal.
Take a ride on the Jeffersonville airplane. Follow the White Rabbit 106.9 FM, Jeffersonville.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today, 855-OCU-GRAD, or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
So after the word from our sponsors, we're still not out of the timeout with 11:32 left in the first half. Shawnee State leads number 25, Life University, 19-13 here at home. Give you some quick stats from the opening minutes. Shawnee State shooting a nice 53% on 8 of 15 from the field. Life shooting 5 of 14 for 35%. Shawnee State not forcing anything early, taking good shots. And E.J. Onu making an impact already with 3 blocks. Leading the scoring effort, Jalen Carter with 8 points for Shawnee State. 3 apiece for Brian Rolfe, Selby Hind Wills, and E.J. Onu. Fred Moore's got 2, and that rounds up the scoring effort from Shawnee State. For Life University, they are led by Jay Johnson. He's got 8. They got 3 from Undra Mitchum, 2 from David Scott, and that'll be it for the scoring from the running Eagles. So it'll be the Eagles' ball. Under their own basket, Mitchum gets it off the inbound. Mitchum outside to David Scott, steps back, almost loses his dribble. Now Landis, top of the key. Landis pulls up. 3-point shot is up and no good. Rebounded by himself. Almost crossed the half-court line. Now Landis goes to work, kicks it out. Miller driving, kicking it out to Landis. Landis from the corner with a hand in his face. Landis, ice cold from 3 over the hand of Selby Hind Wills.
He earned that.
So Daniel Esther in the game for the Bears. Esther, sophomore.
Take it away.
Now taken away by Landis, straight out of the hand of Fred Moore, and on the other end going up, Dorsett just
He was under the basket. That was the problem.
Rim stuffed. Devon Dorsett. Now Tamal Watkins looking for the play, finds Daniel Esther outside, and now driving baseline, Justin Johnson. Back out, Tamal Watkins from 3. Tamal Watkins no good. Rebounded though by Fred Moore. It'll be a jump ball. That'll stay with Shawnee State. 19-16 the score, 10:32 left to play in the first half. Shawnee State up on Life by 3. Tamal Watkins into Daniel Esther. Esther on the wing, back over to Watkins in the corner, bounce pass to Justin Johnson. Johnson, nice ball movement here from the Bears. Fred Moore trapped, double team down low, finds Tamal Watkins on the outlet pass. Tamal driving to Daniel Esther, baseline mid-range shot, airballed.
There's a foul.
And they call that on Fred Moore. So a foul there from Fred Moore, and it'll be an inbound from the running Eagles. They're down 3. Brian Rolfe and Jay Morrell set to check back in for Shawnee State. Landis to their leading scorer in Mitchum. Mitchum back over to Landis, and then it'll be a kick ball from Selby as he tried to interrupt the pass. So now checking in for Shawnee State will be Jay Morrell and Brian Rolfe. Also E.J. Onu checks in for Fred Moore. So it's Daniel Esther, Justin Johnson, Brian Rolfe, Jay Morrell, and E.J. Onu, the 5 on the court for Shawnee State. We've got 2 or 3 new guys. Daniel Esther redshirted last season for the Bears. And then 2 seniors for Shawnee State as Mitchum gets the inbound pass for the running Eagles. Mitchum right past Brian Rolfe, kicks it out. Hesitating, stepping back, mid-range shot on the way, no good from Dorsett.
As the crowd chants air ball.
So now Brian Rolfe calling out the plays for the Bears. The Bears 500 on the season. Looking to go 11-10 today. Daniel Esther finds Jay Morrell in the corner. Cross-court pass to Brian Rolfe. 13 on the shot clock here for the Bears. Daniel Esther on the corner. Esther moving it. Brian Rolfe tried to find Jay Morrell in the corner. Pass was knocked out of bounds by Landis. Now Jalen Carter checks in for Daniel Esther. Esther, a nice asset, athletic, good, especially good defensively. His offensive game's still coming around. It's nice to give Jalen Carter a break. So Brian Rolfe gets it off the inbound, drives, goes up to the basket. A good shot, just off the back rim. So now Jay Johnson thought about the three, tries to drive. Ball is poked out of his possession, goes out of bounds, and they'll say it was last touched by the running Eagles. So Shawnee State will go back the other way with a 3-point lead. Time called here so Justin Johnson can tie his shoes.
Really not much scoring in the last minute or two.
No, it's
just
been pretty
back
quiet.
and forth, back and forth.
Good defense from both teams.
That's true, yeah.
They've adjusted. They've seen what each team can do. And an pass from Fred Moore just out of reach.
I'm surprised they didn't tee him up.
Brian Rolfe tried to lob it up to Jalen Carter on that backdoor cut. Something they do a lot, actually. They like to connect on that alley-oop when Jalen Carter drives baseline. But that time couldn't find him out of reach, and now it's life ball, almost poked away by Brian Rolfe.
Good recovery.
Now number 21, Jay Johnson backing down, kicks it back outside to Dorsett. Dorsett driving, blocked by
nice
E.J.
block.
Onu. Now Brian Rolfe, top of the key to E.J. E.J. taking another three, and that one, though, does not fall. Tipped by Jay Morrell, though. And back into the hands of Shawnee State. They give it back to Jalen Carter from the corner. Oh my goodness. Oh, my God, it almost, right?
That was incredible.
Oh, rattled out. Jalen Carter saw himself open right after he passed it to EJ. He's like, give it right back. I'll try the three. Almost got it to go. Still at 19-16. Like Rick said, it's been pretty quiet here for the past few minutes.
A lot of action, just no scoring.
Jay Johnson driving. Tries to go up over Onu. No good. Tipped in by himself, though. Goes up and tips it in.
First points for a while.
19-18 now the score with 7:49. An off-ball foul going to be called there on Life, I believe, number 21. That's Jay Johnson. That's Jay Johnson, first foul. The running Eagles, second. So Fred Moore checks in for Justin Johnson.
Each team with 2 fouls now.
19-18, the score, 7:48. Shawnee State ball under their own basket. Inbound to Fred Moore. Tried to gather step, stripped away. So now here comes Mitchum, the other end. A nice pass to Miller, driving to the basket, goes up and gets the layup off the backboard. So now Brian Rolfe passing it to Fred Moore. Moore over to Jay Morrell, back down to Moore. Moore backing down, kicks it out to Jalen Carter from three. That one's good. So make it 22-20 after the three from Jalen Carter on the feed from Fred Moore. Landis now taking it down for the running Eagles. Landis turns around. Outside of the paint, kicks it out to Jay Johnson. Really laying off of Jay Johnson on the outside. Assuming he'll pull the trigger for another three before they see the end of this one. David Scott, though, driving, is blocked by Fred Moore.
Stripped away again.
And then stripped away on their own rebound, but they get it back again. Mike Miller, long three, top of the key. Miller getting a three of her own for the running Eagles. 2 bodies hit the floor on the way down. No foul calls.
Got them all over the place.
Jalen Carter outside. Fred Moore from three, and that's good. Shawnee State heating up from three. They make it 25-23 here against the running Eagles at home. Shawnee State shooting 5 of 11 from beyond the arc. Landis steps up. Baseline shot is good. Nice move by Landis. Gave himself some space and hit the shot over the hand of Jay Morrell.
So once again, all tied up, 25-all with 6:16 remaining in this first half of play.
Jalen Carter to E.J. Onu. Sets the screen for Brian Rolfe. Jay Morrell to Fred Moore. Takes the elbow jumper, and Fred Moore, so skilled at creating space from mid-range. Gets the bucket to fall on an off-balance shot. So now it's 27-25. Shawnee State leading by 2. Shawnee State shooting 45%. So now David Scott driving up and over Fred Moore, and a nice shot by David Scott.
So we're trading baskets. 27 all.
Back and forth. Both teams having success offensively. Jay Morrell downstairs. Fred Moore draws the double team. Then Brian Rolfe found an opening from the elbow. Misses the wide open shot. That's one he's going to want back. So now Landis will take it down the floor, guarded by Jay Morrell. Landis driving. No foul called on Brian Rolfe. Mike Miller from three. Miller's three is good. Everybody's up in arms. There's been a lot of bodies hit the floor and no foul calls here on the last few times down the court.
Yeah, they're letting them play. I guess that's what we're saying. And that they're doing.
So now Jalen Carter drives to the basket, goes right up in the face of the defense and draws the foul. That one will be called on David Scott. We'll have a mass sub here for Shawnee State as Tamal Watkins, Selby Behind Wills, and Justin Johnson will check in for the Bears.
So we got a media timeout. We're going to take a break here. You're listening to CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports, and of course WZAA 106.9 in Jeffersonville, Ohio.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today, 855-OCU-GRAD, or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
So with 4:50 left to play in the first half, we'll come out of the timeout looking at a Life University lead. They lead the home team, Shawnee State, by 3 by a score of 30-27. Slowed down for a minute, then both teams came back in the scoring effort, started hitting some shots, and we've traded buckets there for a little bit, and the Eagles came out of the half on top by 3 after a big three-point shot from Mike Miller. So coming out of the timeout here, it'll be Selby Behind Wills, Tamal Watkins, Jalen Carter, Justin Johnson, and Fred Moore on the court for Shawnee State. Good to see Selby getting some minutes. Very athletic, good defensive player, can score. Not quite the playmaker that he can be. He's got a lot of raw talent, just a sophomore, so he's got room to build. Whereas teammate Jalen Carter kind of bad luck with the basket there, just rolled out of the rim on his first free throw attempt. We'll put a second one up here. Gets one of two. So now it's 30-28. Shawnee State running that full court press. That's kind of their marquee. They like to force a lot of turnovers, then get the ball back in the full court, and Tamal Watkins almost does just that. Good job by Mike Miller to recover. So now it's top of the key, David Scott. Down low, Jay Johnson just backing down Justin Johnson. Johnson up and over Johnson.
Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah. Not working together, though. No. That time it was Life University's Johnson winning that battle. And then Justin Johnson getting a bucket of his own after it rattles around the rim. Puts it right up over Jay Johnson. So the Battle of the Johnsons might be a storyline. So now Mitchum trying to break this press. Guarded closely by Jalen Carter. 4:03.
Got a foul. Finally called one.
Foul on number 3 for Shawnee State, Jalen Carter. It will not be a shooting foul, I don't think. It's just a foul on the floor. There's a little bit of a tie-up from Mitchum and Tamal Watkins, and the referees will check it out, and Justin Johnson's jawing as well. Really no excuse there. You just got to walk away in a situation like that. I know the intensity's high. You got your adrenaline and everything, but you don't want to get in any trouble this early in the game.
No, and you certainly don't want to be teed up and then have the momentum change, which often that does.
So now the players work it out and break into their inbounding set here as the inbound finds Jay Johnson. The running Eagles back to work offensively. Top of the key, Mike Miller now guarded by Tamal Watkins. Miller driving. Miller kicks it out to Landis. Landis now back to Jay Johnson down low. Johnson step back, up and no good. Rebounded by Fred Moore. So now here comes Tamal Watkins. Shawnee State down 2. Watkins moving off the screen. Tamal Watkins looking for the play. Has Justin Johnson on the outside. Johnson to Fred Moore. Quick tip pass to Selby.
Ooh.
Selby is not good from 3. And then Mitchum gets the rebound and was fouled. And I'm sure they'll call that on Fred Moore. Or nope, Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter was under Mitchum as he came on the rebound. And just a bad place to be, and he picks up the foul.
So we've got 3:28 remaining in this first half of play. LifeU leading 32-30 over the Bears. Looks like they're doing some more floor maintenance here.
So Landis finds Mike Miller on the inbound. Miller now guarded all the way by Tamal Watkins. Miller outrunning Watkins in the full court, gets the ball across, no problem, then finds Landis. Landis guarded by Sell behind Wills. Landis hesitates and drives. Kicks it back out to Miller, then to Scott.
Good ball movement.
Yes, Scott pulls up from the free throw line. That one off the back iron. Almost, it'll be saved by LifeU. Finds its way into the hands of Jay Johnson. Johnson, a nice pass to Mike Miller. Pull up from 3. Miller is no good. Finally, a rebound for Shawnee State. Now here comes Tamal Watkins, pushing it down the floor quickly. Watkins goes ahead and pulls up from 3, and that one's no good. Rebounded by Landis. 32-30, still the score. Life with a 2-point lead with 2:40 left to play here in the first half. David Scott off the give and go. Scott spins, kicks it back outside. Landis from 3, and that's good. A nice pick and roll spin sequence there from Landis and David Scott. Now Jalen Carter on the other end fouled. Kind of cradled the baby on his way up before he drew the foul. So E.J. Onu will step back in. I think they're doing a good job of managing Onu's energy. They know they need him down the stretch, giving him plenty of breathers early on. So Jalen Carter's going to the line for 2. 35-30 the score. LifeU up here by 5 at home against Shawnee State. And that'll bring in Jay Morrell and E.J. Onu. They take out Sell behind Wills and Justin Johnson. So it's Tamal Watkins, Jalen Carter, Fred Moore, Sell behind Wills, and Jay Morrell on the court for the Bears. And Jalen Carter gets both free throws to fall. It's now a 3-point ball game. Inbound on the way from Landis. Finds Miller. Life University doing a good job of taking care of the ball, facing this pressure system from Shawnee State there as Tamal Watkins picks up the foul. And really a lot of that due in part to the speed of Mike Miller, easily breaking the press with his lateral quickness. So they haven't turned the ball over a lot. But if Shawnee State will not change the game plan, they'll likely run this press the entire game. They like to keep the pressure on teams. So now Landis driving, found a lane to the basket. Very easily, Landis finishes. Nobody stepped up for the help there. So now Fred Moore back to Brian Rolfe, over to Jay Morrell in the corner. Corner 3 from Morrell, no good. Rebounded by Zach Landis in Life. Mike Miller once again taking it across half court. Done well controlling the ball, moves past Tamal Watkins, kicks it out to Mitchum. Mitchum, their leading scorer, kicks it out to David Scott. Corner 3 from Scott, up and no good. Rebounded by Dorsett. Dorsett running into Mitchum. Dorsett steps back from 3, and that one's up and no good. Rebounded by Tamal Watkins. Good box out by E.J. Onu. Tamal Watkins down court pass to Fred Moore. Baby hook, no good. Off the hands of Life University, out of bounds there as David Scott tried to go up for the rebound. Tipped the ball out of play. Another 3-point deadeye coming into the game for Shawnee State. Gavin Brown. Gavin Brown, the freshman from Carroll, Ohio, by way of Bloom Carroll High School. Him and Matt Rhodes, really the sharpshooters on this team. So Tamal Watkins now back in business for the Bears. Finds Brian Rolfe, who quickly drives. Rolfe, little jumper, no good. One-handed runner shot from Brian Rolfe does not fall. So now with a minute left, just over a minute, Life University leads Shawnee State by 5. 37-32 still the score. Mike Miller, a good pass to Zach Landis, who goes up and doesn't get the bucket. Tipped in by Dorsett.
That's going to be goaltending. No basket.
A good call there.
Well, the ball was on the rim. He tried to tick it in with it being on the rim, so not allowed.
So with 55 seconds, it'll be Shawnee State ball down 5.
Not called very often, but when you got guys as tall as this.
Yeah, exactly. So now here comes Shawnee State. Fred Moore over to Gavin Brown. Moving in and out of lanes. Now outside, a wide open Brian Rolfe from 3. That one bounces out. Brian Rolfe, though, tips it to Tamal Watkins. They've still got a shot clock. 36 seconds on the game clock, 25 on the shot clock.
So they'll probably try to run this down as much as they can.
Indeed they will. Brian Rolfe over to Fred Moore, to Gavin Brown, top of the key.
About a 9-second difference.
Brown now slipping outside. Tamal Watkins finds Gavin Brown, who drives, then finds Watkins wide open from 3. That one rattles out, no good, out of bounds.
Tipped out by Life, it looked like.
I think it was off the hand of Fred Moore, they're going to call it.
Okay, back to that.
So that brings in Jay Morrell for Gavin Brown. 10.7 seconds. Shawnee State down 5 here as we approach halftime. Landis gets it into Miller. Miller's got 8 seconds to get it down the court and get a shot off. 4 seconds now. Miller breaking the press, kicks it out. Dorsett from 3. That one's no good. Rebounded by Fred Moore, and that'll end the half. So Shawnee State goes into halftime down 5. Life University 37, Shawnee State 32. Get you some quick stats here from the first half of action. Shawnee State cooling down a bunch from the floor at 38% shooting on 12 of 31. Life University shooting 41% on 15 of 36 from the field. They are also 7 of 16 from beyond the arc at 43% from three-point range. Rebounds pretty close. Shawnee State with 17, Life with 18. Shawnee State with 9 assists, Life with 8. In terms of scoring for both teams, leading Shawnee State, Jalen Carter with 14. Fred Moore with 7. 3 apiece for Brian Rolfe, still behind Wills, and E.J. Onu. Onu already with 5 rebounds and 3 blocks. For Life University, it'll be Zach Landis with 10 points. Jay Johnson has 12. Michael Miller with 8. 3 for Undra Mitchell, 4 for David Scott. And that rounds out the scoring effort for them. So again, 37-32, Shawnee State trails here at home to Life University. The Running Eagles up by 5 going into half.
Still well within anybody's game.
Really, yeah, no one pulling away early on.
All right, we're going to take a short break here at halftime. You're listening to CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports. And also WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio. And we will return after a short break and bring you the rest of this basketball game, the second half. Well, we're at halftime with about 4 minutes remaining in the intermission. Currently right now, Lakeview leading Shawnee State 37-32. And we'll be resuming shortly. A little program note for our people there in Fayette County and Clinton County and Greene County, up north, so to speak. Tomorrow night, we have Wilmington Hurricane boys basketball. That game will get underway with our pregame broadcast at 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Starts at 7:30. And that will be from Fred Summers Court in the middle school gym in Wilmington, Ohio. And they will be playing arch rival across the county, Clinton Massey, the Falcons, well known for their football prowess, not quite as good at basketball. But they will be matching up tomorrow evening on Campus Nation. We'll be streaming it live. And then in particular, we've got a big lineup on Saturday. We start off with a simulcast, 2 streaming games at the same time on Campus Nation, one of them being the Lady Quakers, the Fightin' Quakers. They will be hosting the Purple Raiders are going to be in. So they will. That's right. They will be in, and that will get underway at 2:30. But at the same time, we will be starting the first of 4 basketball games, the 4th annual Play-by-Play Classic. We've done it all 4 years for Wilmington High School. This year, it's been increased to 4 teams. But the big matchup will be the 3rd game, where we have the number 1 in the state ranked Wayne Warriors, Division I, against the number 6 team in the state, the Princeton Vikings from Cincinnati, Ohio. So that'll be a big matchup there. And Wilmington will finish out the evening. They were going to play Spire Academy, but if you were listening to last night's Quaker men defeat the Ohio Northern Polar Bears, Troy Deals, who was our athletic director, was attending that game. And the reason is he used to play for Ohio Northern. And so we had him on and interviewed him, and he let us know that Spire, they're having some problems with strep throat, so they're not coming in. They are substituting another academy. I forget the name of it, sorry, but if you want to find it out, tune into the interview at halftime with Troy Deals. But there'll be 4 good games in that play-by-play lineup on Saturday.
So here in Portsmouth, with about 1:30 left until we start the second half, it's the home team, Shawnee State, down by 5.
Anybody's game.
Really anybody's game, yes. Just like Rick said, Life, of course, at number 25 in the country. And, Rick, I was talking to a couple people over there on the sidelines, including our athletic trainer, Devin Palmer, and really he kind of agreed with us. You keep running this press if you're Shawnee State. I understand that's your identity. That's the defense you run in practice. But every single time they're beating the press, especially Mike Miller. He's been a fantastic. He always has the corner, it seems, on Tamal Watkins taking the ball across the court. And he suggested maybe sitting back and playing a little bit of zone, or just sitting back in general, providing more gaps so you can have more help defense. They're hugging their man on the perimeter, and that's opening up a lot of shots on the catch and shoot. So we'll see if Shawnee State makes any adjustments. And if not, he's a better coach than I am tenfold, so I'm sure he's got a reason.
Got a few more wins under his belt than we do,
Of course, yes. Record never to question.
Just a suggestion, Coach.
So we'll see what changes each team makes coming into this second half of action. As Rick said before, anybody's ball game, 5-point difference, as Life University leads the home team Bears by 5, 37-32. Life now shooting 40%. Shawnee State cooling down to 37% after shooting almost 50% at the end, about the halfway point of the first half. So,
and Life U is from Marietta, Georgia, you said.
Yep.
So that's North Atlanta, for those of you that are not familiar. I have been to Marietta, not once, but a few times. A really nice place.
Looking forward to making that trip down there. I'll have that game as we go on the road to take on Life here later on in the season. I believe February 24th is the date. We're going on a pretty long road trip. We'll go to Cumberland's in Kentucky, and then Life in Georgia, and head back right before we get started in conference play.
Yeah, this conference really covers a lot of territory.
It does, for sure. So now we're back underway. It's Life ball. Off the inbound, Mike Miller with it. Shawnee State goes with Jay Morrell, E.J. Unu, Justin Johnson, Jalen Carter, and Brian Rolfe. Start off this second half. Landis, turnaround 3, up and off the back iron, no good. Rebounded by Justin Johnson. Nice rebound there by Johnson. He's got some lift. Jalen Carter kicks it over to Jay Morrell. Morrell, top of the key. Justin Johnson over to Rolfe on the wing. Rolfe off the screen from E.J. Onu. Rolfe to Johnson. Johnson driving, going up over Scott. Gets the foul, doesn't get the bucket.
Had a little too much body on him.
So now Justin Johnson goes to the line for 2. Try and chip away at this 5-point Running Eagle lead. Shawnee State right at 10-10 on the season. There's Justin Johnson misses his first. Looking to get their second conference win today. Johnson gets the second to fall, so 1 of 2 on that trip to the line for Justin Johnson. Now just a 4-point lead for Life.
Yeah, we're seeing the press. Not quite the same.
So now Mitchum driving behind the back pass to Jay Johnson. He's got a lot of space, pulls up from 3. But they're going to want E.J. Onu to step up a little closer on defense.
Yeah, he's going to have to guard him tighter.
So now Justin Johnson back over to Jalen Carter. Carter working around the perimeter. Off the screen, E.J. Onu from 3. That one high bounce. It goes in, but not before. It hit the belt there that connects the top of the hoop to the ceiling, so it's out of bounds.
Right, did drop in, but already had gone out.
Pressure still coming from Shawnee State, and they force a
that
turnover.
Time it works.
They make me eat my words, and on the second inbound of the game for Life, calls a turnover. Brian Rolfe, good tight defense there on Mike Miller. So it'll be Shawnee State ball.
Taking it right out in front of the Shawnee bench.
Jalen Carter off the inbound. Carter over to EJ. EJ back to Carter, sets the screen for Jalen Carter. Carter driving, back to Brian Rolfe, who takes the shot from the elbow. That one's up and no good. Brian Rolfe struggling to make a shot so far in this game. Now it's Zach Landis on the other end for the Eagles. Ooh, behind the back move from Landis.
That was slick.
And then another Jay Johnson three falls. EJ looks over to coach like, do you want me to get closer or what? That's a second 3 in a row from Jay Johnson. They've extended their lead to 10 points. 18-13 left to play. Driving to the basket, Jalen Carter, no foul. His shot is blocked by Jay Johnson. Now here comes Zach Landis, quickly driving, kicks it out. They traveled. Hesitated to throw the ball to Mike Miller in the corner, changed his mind to go to Jay Johnson and took an extra step in the meantime.
So a 10-point Running Eagles lead at 18:02 remaining in this ball game, 43-33.
So now Brian Rolfe running the point for the Bears, gets it to E.J. Onu on the elbow, back outside to Justin Johnson. Jalen Carter, top of the key. Carter off the screen. Carter drives, steps back, tries to get it to Brian Rolfe under the basket. Kind of an ill-advised pass as Michael Miller jumped all over it. Now it's Running Eagles ball the other way. Miller to Jay Johnson. Jay Morrell almost gets the steal. And now Zach Landis backing him down. Zach Landis goes to the floor, and they're going to call a foul on Jay Morrell, which I'm not sure I saw a lot of contact there.
I don't think that there really was a foul there. Looked like he lost his balance.
They call it on Jay Morrell anyway. And, good job by Jay Morrell. He didn't really act too upset about that. Just kind of shrugged it off. That's all you really can do. You're not going to change the call. So now it'll be an inbound.
So once again, a little floor maintenance, a little perspiration on the floor.
The referees have called a pretty consistent, solid game so far.
I think they have. I haven't seen anything that's been outrageous. I think that we can both agree that this has been a fairly well-reffed game.
They're letting them play physical, and they've held true to that for both teams. As Mitchum drives, fakes, kicks it out to Landis from 3, no good. Zach Landis from the corner. Rebounded by Jalen Carter, and here come the Bears. Carter off the screen to Justin Johnson. Johnson hesitates out to Jay Morrell. Thought about the shot, instead works it to Fred Moore. Back to Jay Morrell. Now Tamal Watkins off the screen. Watkins to Fred Moore to Jay Morrell in the corner again. Jay Morrell That one up and no good. Rebounded though by Justin Johnson, whose shot is blocked. Jump ball. So now it'll be Shawnee State's ball under their own basket. New shot clock. Fred Moore, Justin Johnson on the wing, over to Tamal Watkins. Tamal off the screen. Over to Selby behind Wills for three. Selby off the mark, no good, off the front of the rim. So now it's Mike Miller taking it across once again. Mike Miller again speeding past Tamal Watkins. Now it's Jay Johnson, top of the key. Ball looked like Justin Johnson tried to steal it away and picked up a foul there. Reach-in foul on Justin Johnson will be an inbound for life. Landis inbound finds David Scott. Scott hesitates, looking for the pass, finds Landis, who drives with speed up and on the basket, gets the foul. Now that'll be called an offensive foul on Zach Landis. No basket, and he charged on his way to the hoop. Coach not happy about that one. Zach Landis made a strong move to the hoop and picked up the charging foul, so it'll be a turnover back in the hands of Shawnee State. Life University playing this gap defense so far this game. Been working out for them. It really helpful when it comes to that help defense there as Jalen Carter's runner to the basket. Right there at the top of the circle. Gets it to go. Again with the defense from Shawnee State. Mitchum takes it across half court against Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter steals the ball away. Carter to Selby behind Wills. He's got a break to the basket. Selby up, wins kind of the half-hearted dunk there. So now it's a 43-37 6-point ball game. Mike Miller and the running Eagles. David Scott, top of the key, moving off the screen. Over to Mitchum in the corner. Mitchum dribbling back out. Drives, draws Jalen Carter off balance. It turns around and makes the dagger. And a good move by Mitchum there. Jamal Watkins over to Jalen Carter. Tried to work it to Fred Moore. They'll say the ball was last touched by David Scott, so it'll be an inbound for Shawnee State. E.J. Onu checks into the game for Justin Johnson. Inbound by Tamal Watkins, finds Jalen Carter. Almost loses his balance now. Carter finds Fred Moore, top of the key, over to Selby behind Wills. Selby off the screen, over to Tamal Watkins, 4 on the shot clock. Watkins pulls up from 3. The long three-pointer is off the mark, no good. Rebounded though by Fred Moore. They get it back out to Watkins, and then Jalen Carter takes the 3, and that one's off the backboard. Ooh. Almost gets his own rebound. Good hustle by Zach Landis to knock it into the hands of his teammate. David Scott blocked on the other end by Sell behind Wills, and then a foul called after the rebound. It actually will go on the shot against Selby. I thought he had a clean block there.
The block looked clean to me, so I thought it was maybe one of the trailing Bears that had fouled him.
They will call it a shooting foul, though, and David Scott steps to the line for 2, takes a deep breath. Scott, first shot on the way. Good. So now 47-37. Life back on top by 10.
.46. I guess this is 47 here.
Okay. And it will be. Okay. I guess they updated it before I got to look.
So a 10-point lead. It's expanded from 5 at the half.
So now it's Jalen Carter with it on the wing to E.J. Onu. Onu finds Tamal Watkins. Watkins dribbles out of pressure, finds Selby, kicks it out to Jalen Carter from 3, up and no good. Rebounded by Jay Johnson. With 14:25 left in this game. Number 25 ranked Life leading Shawnee State 47-37. Mike Miller driving out to Jay Johnson, who thought about the shot, tried to make a pass down low under the basket. That one goes straight out of bounds.
He threw it to that invisible player there into the basket. It's like, okay.
So now the Bears go back to work. Tamal Watkins from the corner, 3 up and no good. Gets his own rebound. Tamal tried to work it down low to Fred Moore. Fred Moore comes up with it. Fred under the basket, steps back, and no good because of the defense there from Jay Johnson, just too strong. So now here come the running Eagles. Zach Landis. Back to Jay Johnson on the outside. Johnson finds Mitchum. Mitchum switching hands, goes off of his foot and out of bounds. It'll be Shawnee State ball.
Thought there was something going on there, he did.
So now the inbound to Tamal Watkins, and Shawnee State goes back to work. Here's Tamal Watkins over to Fred Moore on the left side wing. Moore off the screen. Finds Tamal Watkins, hesitates, works it down to EJ in the post. EJ backing down Jay Johnson. Ball is knocked away. That'll be a foul called.
You could have picked one of any 3 of the running Eagles. They were all over him.
So now sell behind Wills, checks it into Tamal Watkins. The Bears got 20 on the shot clock. Tamal Watkins driving, going up with it.
Good drive.
Nice bucket for Tamal Watkins up and off the glass over some tough defense there from Dorsett. 47-39 ball game. Mike Miller dribbling out of pressure. Miller top of the key, works it over to Jay Johnson. Quick 3 from Johnson, no good. Rebounded by Fred Moore. Here come the Bears. Tamal Watkins hustling, driving to the basket again. Tamal Watkins can't get that one to go, though. Picked up by Sell behind Wills on a long rebound. Fred Moore on the left side wing. Moore drives, kicks it out. Selby for 3. Sell behind Wills, no good from the corner. Now here comes Mike Miller and the running Eagles. Landis over to Jay Johnson. Back to Landis. Dribbling out of pressure. Landis spins. Back to Jay Johnson to Dorsett. Dorsett driving against Fred Moore. Dorsett off the glass, no good. Rebounded though by Dorsett. And another chance.
Tipped in.
Jay Johnson tips it in. 49-39, 10-point lead again for Life. Good pass from Tamal Watkins, finds E.J. Onu, who then finds a wide open Jalen Carter for 3. Jalen Carter can't convert. Fred Moore ends up with it and gets the bucket. An 8-point ball game once again. Shawnee State staying right there.
Need a stop.
Mike Miller drives back out to Dorsett for 3. Dorsett, no good. Rattled out of the basket now, and Shawnee State with the ball once again. Tamal Watkins finds Fred Moore for 3. Moore up and no good off the backboard. Fred Moore can't convert on the open look for 3. Neither team really diving deep into the shot clock here. They both got to be tired. There is Zach Landis with a nice kick to Dorsett.
And that is part of being tired. You know, you can't go down and be under control. So we saw a result of that. It's the charge. And
absolutely. Then we're going into a media timeout.
So we're going to take a break here.
.9 WZAA LP, Jeffersonville.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today 855-OCU-GRAD or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
So as I walked over to get some water, I got to overhear a little bit of what Coach Delano Thomas is telling his boys there. And he said, keep the pressure on them defensively, so still going with the press game plan. He said, stay on the offensive boards. They've got to get more second chance points, kind of doing the same thing that Life's doing there. So those put-back opportunities and forcing turnovers is going to be likely the key for Shawnee State down the stretch as they look to get a win over a top 25 opponent here at home against Life University. Now down 8 with 11-11 exactly on the clock. Going to the second half of this second, well, the second half of the second half.
That's right, second half of the second half.
So it'll be Shawnee State ball coming out of the media timeout. Here come the Bears. Running the plays will be Brian Rolfe. He's joined by Jalen Carter, Fred Moore, E.J. Onu, and Jay Morrell. Rolfe finds E.J. Onu. Onu goes up with it. No good. Rebounded by Fred Moore. And one of those second chance buckets we were just talking about there as Fred Moore went up and got the rebound on the miss from E.J. Onu. Gets the bucket and the foul. Has a chance for 3 here. Good strong move and a great rebound by Fred Moore. Shawnee State now down just 6, looking to make it 5. Fred Moore does that. 49-44 the score.
So we're back to the halftime score, halftime lead.
So now Shawnee State back at where they were, as Rick said, so now they've got to get some stops and get good looks offensively. Mitchum driving, kicking it out. Dorsett with it, now Landis. Passing the ball quickly, the running Eagles. Landis kicking it out, then finds Mike Miller. Good defense by Shawnee State, though.
There's your stop.
Shawnee State comes away with a big defensive stop there. Now it's Brian Rolfe with it. Shawnee State needs to not get too excited and force anything. Run a good play here. Jalen Carter outside. Picked up. Now Fred Moore back over to Brian Rolfe. 14 on the shot clock. Rolfe off the screen over to Jalen Carter. Carter driving, spinning, goes up with one hand. Spin move. And a little high arm shot there from Jalen Carter goes in. Now Shawnee State down 3. 49-46 with less than 10 to play.
Big guy getting ready to come in for Life U.
Jay Johnson waiting at the scorer's table to check in for the running Eagles. Now it's Mitchum driving against Jalen Carter. They'll get Carter on the foul, but that's really tough.
No, and because he actually put his arm around.
A tough call on Jalen Carter there. He's just trying to play good defense on Mitchum. So picks up the foul. Jalen shaking his head there. I can't disagree with him. So now Mitchum will inbound it for the running Eagles with 20 on the shot clock. It's Mike Miller. Mitchum to Jay Johnson, hesitates. Johnson drives, kicks it out to David Scott. Baseline. Scott turns around looking for the pass. 5 on the shot clock. Johnson outside finds Landis. Landis pulls up from deep three-point range. That one's up and no good. Good defense there from Jay Morrell with a hand in his face.
Well, there's your other stop.
So now Shawnee State down just 3. Jay Morrell drives. Excuse me.
Tapped out, but it'll stay with the Bears. We'll be taking it out underneath the basket.
Jay Morrell steps away in favor of Justin Johnson. So Johnson will inbound it for the Bears. They've got 17 on the shot clock. Fred Moore off the inbound goes right up with it. Fouled going up, so he'll have a chance to shrink this lead to just 1 now. Calling it a little more closely here, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and I think that probably, we're in the later stages of the second half, and I think they will tighten up usually then.
Players getting tired, get a little more sloppy, so
that's true.
Closer, call it a little bit closer.
Now we're within 2.
So Fred Moore looks to shrink the Life University lead to just 1. Fred Moore's second free throw is up and good as well, and he does. 49-48 is the score. 2 straight defensive stops for Shawnee State put him in position now to take the lead with 1 more stop and another bucket. Brian Rolfe, good defense on Mike Miller, finds David Scott outside. Scott spinning, blocked by E.J. Onu, and then goes out of bounds.
Coming back.
Onu with a huge block, and then it went off the hand of Mike Miller and out of bounds, so Shawnee State will have the ball.
And that was another big stop here. We've had 3. So,
putting the clamps on them, Shawnee State. 3 straight stops, as Rick said, so now they've got a score to take their first lead here in the second half. Passing it around the perimeter, looking for a play to develop. Jalen Carter cuts back door, now in the corner. Carter, cross-court pass to Fred Moore. Back over to Brian Rolfe, 10 on the shot clock. Rolfe, Jalen Carter for 3. Carter's three-point shot is up and no good.
Oh,
rebounded
good
by
and in.
Brian Rolfe, stepping up huge.
And so the tables have turned now. Bears up by 1. And we got a timeout.
Timeout called by Life University. They are down 1. Shawnee State's first lead in the second half, 50-49, with 8:13 left to play.
You like music? How about 3 decades of rock on 106.9 FM?
So we've seen a combination of great defense as well as some offense here that have propelled the Bears up by a point over the running Eagles, and now what we need to do is do a little more stopping and a little more building. 8:13 remaining in this game.
This one is one that definitely could come down to the wire given neither team make a run here late. But like you said, it's really been a good showing of defense in the last couple minutes, especially Shawnee State stopping them 3 straight times, and then the block from E.J. Onu really stepping up. Brian Rolfe getting that rebound at the end, a hop gather in the lane to finish off. Really a strong play by him going up against a lot of bigger bodies. Put Shawnee State up by 1. The key for them is going to be moving the ball around smart. Not any unforced turnovers or any mental mistake. They got to stay strong down the stretch, and I'm hoping they dive deep into this rotation here. They got a couple bench players who come in and make a contribution, so we'll see what they decide to do here as the whistle to come out of the timeout.
Well, the last 8 minutes and 13 seconds will determine just what happens.
As I said before, Life looking to improve to 16-6 on the season and go to 4-2 in the Mid-South, while Shawnee State looks to move past 500.
Break out of that 500.
With a win here, they would move to 11-10 and 2-4 in the conference before they take on Cumberland on Saturday.
Here we go. 5 seconds.
And the defensive pressure not allowing Zach Landis to inbound the ball. And so now Shawnee State with another chance. Wow. You know, really, they're making me eat my words that I said at half with this press.
Big turn of events here.
A lot of turnovers caused by Shawnee State, keeping up that defensive pressure. So now they're up a point. Clock winding to just about 8 minutes left in this game. Jalen Carter in the corner hesitates. Back to Fred Moore. E.J. Onu down low, baby hook. Onu gets the friendly roll. And Onu was good on the hook shot, putting Shawnee State up by 3. Mike Miller taking it across once again for the Life Eagles. Zach Landis in the corner. Jay Johnson backing down E.J. Onu and was fouled on the way up. Onu just jumped just a little bit too soon there.
Came down and hit him with his body.
So that'll send Jay Johnson to the line. 52-49 the score, 7:34 left to play.
Yeah, the running Eagles with 6 fouls and the Bears with 5.
That shot is up and good from Johnson. It's now a 2-point ball game. Shawnee State has forced 11 turnovers for Life as that second shot falls from Jay Johnson. 10 points off turnovers for Shawnee State, so they've capitalized, especially here in the second half. They look at a 1-point lead now. here's Jalen Carter with the ball. In the corner, Fred Moore. Moore
bad pass.
Looked for Justin Johnson at the elbow, and that one was at his feet. It's a turnover. Shawnee State doing a good job switching on the screens. Landis on the right side wing, down to Jay Johnson. Once again, backing down E.J. Onu. Johnson, good turnaround off the glass. Now the running Eagles back ahead by 1, 53-52. Just under 7 to play. Moore to Jalen Carter. Back over to Brian Rolfe to Fred Moore. Rolfe with it. E.J. Onu at the elbow. Onu to Jalen Carter, 10 on the shot clock. Fred Moore driving. Moore going up over the defense for the mid-range jumper. That one looked good. No good.
Good tip in.
E.J. Onu just kind of tipped it up. A long tip, too.
That was.
About 6 feet from the basket, and E.J. Onu gets those long arms to work. Tipping it in for Shawnee State, so they come away with 2, 54-53 now. Shawnee State ahead. Landis driving around the screen. Landis. Now Mike Miller drives, kicks it out to Mitchum. Pump fake, draws Jalen Carter off his feet, and then Mitchum hits the three. Wow, and a good play by Mitchum.
So what do we have now?
They're making sure the score is correct. Okay, and they say it is, so 56-54, and they'll call a media timeout.
And that's what we've got. All right, so once again, we're taking a media timeout, so we will go to a break.
106.9.
Community radio.
My radio.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today, 855-OCU-GRAD, or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
And once again, our thanks to Ohio Christian University, our sponsor for tonight's broadcast. And they're in Circleville, Ohio.
So with 5:59 left on the clock, Shawnee State trailing Life University 56-54, but it's been a back and forth ball game for about the past 3 minutes.
And being down by 5 at the half, we've obviously outplayed them in this second half as far as outscoring them.
Yes. Shawnee State with 22 points here in the second half, and Life with 19.
All right, we're going to see what the future holds in the next 5 minutes and 59 seconds in this game.
So quickly, Fred Moore checking it in with some urgency for the Bears. They look to get to work. Now it's Jalen Carter around the outside, finds Fred Moore back over to Rolfe. Rolfe down low, E.J. Onu, who lost the ball, goes out of bounds, so it's a turnover. Puts the ball back in the hands of Zach Landis and the running Eagles. Miller works his way under Brian Rolfe, so they get the inbound with no issue. Miller dribbling across half court. Landis finds a cutting Mitchum going up athletically to the glass. Gets the foul in the bucket. So Mitchum will go to the line for a three-point play, and just like that, Life is up 4. Now we'll see what the future holds, but that certainly feels like a momentum shift in favor of the running Eagles. Mitchum with an unbelievable athletic play.
He was in the air and hanging there for a while.
Absorbed all the contact in the air and still managed to get the shot up and good. And he also gets the free throw, so that's 3 points for Mitchum.
So back to the halftime lead, 5 points.
Fred Moore over to Jalen Carter, top of the key. The Bears moving the ball around off the screen. Now Jalen Carter for 3. That one's no good. Rebounded by David Scott. 5:12 left to play. 59-54 the score. Shawnee State down to the running Eagles at home. David Scott down low, turn around,
Oh.
good, and a beautiful shot.
That
from
was.
David Scott, wow. Nice touch.
61-54.
Fred Moore Euro steps in the lane and tries to go up, and he was fouled. That foul going to be called on Mitchum. Mitchum walks up to the ref and said, I didn't think you saw that. Keeping an eye on him. So Fred Moore now to the line. Shawnee State in the bonus. That shot is up and good from Fred Moore. Now a 6-point ball game.
That's the problem with having 3 refs on the floor. They pretty much catch everything.
Yeah, not going to get away with much. So Fred gets both. So now a 5-point ball game, 61-56 Life. Trapping Mike Miller, and they calls a jump ball on the inbound.
Good defense.
Once again, the press coming to the aid of Shawnee State. But it'll still be Zach Landis and the Running Eagles at another chance for an inbound. So now Mike Miller easily breaks the press and gets the ball across half court. Miller's pass to Mitchum. Down low to David Scott. Scott back outside to Jay Johnson. Jay Johnson, still Landis, off the feet of Landis, and a bad pass from Jay Johnson. Goes out of bounds, and another turnover for Life. So with 4:25 on the clock, Shawnee State will have the ball. Down 5. Jamal Watkins, Brian Rolfe. Fred Moore on the elbow, back outside Rolfe, now to Jalen Carter. 15 on the shot clock, Brian Rolfe drives, finger roll up and no good. Rebounded by Jalen Carter, who goes back up with it. His shot was tipped. It finds its way into the hands of Zach Landis, and a rebound for him and the Running Eagles. Under 4 minutes to play. Shawnee State trailing the Running Eagles 5, and there's a timeout called.
So they want to talk it over. Maybe some last-minute strategy here. 3:53 remaining in this ball game. 61-56, Running Eagles over Bears. We're going to keep it here.
So really, I'm interested to see what adjustments Delano Thomas makes here. That press is working for him, and their defensive intensity has stayed constant here in the second half. But, you know, the scoring effort from the Eagles has really been just good plays on offense. They haven't really been forcing anything. They've gotten themselves to the line a few times.
And they have really under their basket offensive rebounds. They have been getting a few more than one attempt at each basket. So the main thing we need to do is start getting some to fall.
Life shooting 42% on 23 of 54 shooting. Shawnee State at 33% on 21 of 62. Life perfect from the free throw line at 5 of 5. Shawnee State 9 of 12 for 75%. Both teams with 11 fouls on the game. Shawnee State 9 turnovers. They've forced 12 from Life. But Life now leading in the points off turnover category. They've got 12. Jalen Carter.
We could look back at that and maybe say that was the difference in the game.
So now it's Zach Landis checking it in for the Running Eagles. They have a 5-point lead here with less than 4 to play. So now Landis goes to work on Brian Rolfe. Over to Mitchum. Mitchum on the right side wing. Mitchum looks for the pass, finds Landis. Landis to Jay Johnson, back outside to Landis. Landis dribbling, driving, kicking it out to David Johnson, who then finds Mike Miller. One on the shot clock. Miller steps back, throws it up, no good.
That was a shot clock violation. All right, ball going the other way.
So a good defensive possession there by Shawnee State.
Yeah, and I think that Life was trying to run some time off the clock, and they just ran a little too much.
Jamal Watkins tried to thread the needle, ended up in the hands of Justin Johnson, who shot it from his butt.
He was laying flat on the floor and made that almost
I'm almost like, why'd you shoot that?
5 seconds. Come on.
So now Shawnee State keeping up this pressure in the full court look. Mike Miller dribbles out of it, however, across the court. Mike Miller goes all the way, and a huge block by Justin Johnson. Sit down, Mike Miller. Johnson comes up, was waiting for it all the way. Sends Miller packing. Shawnee State not showing any signs of slowing down defensively. Landis, top of the key, dribbling against Brian Rolfe. Landis kicks it out to Jay Johnson. Jay Johnson driving baseline. Yep, tried to find David Scott, but it's off the foot of Fred Moore.
2:56 remaining in the ball game.
Inbound pass to David Scott. Down low, Jay Johnson backing down, fade away, shot up and no good. Rebounded by Justin Johnson, and here come the Bears. Coach Delano Thomas saying pick up the pace, go, go, go. Brian Rolfe finds himself open for three, and that one's no good. They've got to capitalize on those opportunities. A wide open look for three. Almost stole it away at around half court, and now Landis gets himself out of trouble with the pass to David Scott. Scott driving to the hoop, goes all the way easily. 63-56 now the score. Shawnee State back quickly. Tamal Watkins to Brian Rolfe, over to Jalen Carter. Carter, now Fred Moore in the low post. Moore picked up by Johnson. Back out to Tamal Watkins. The pass to Fred Moore, stolen away by David Scott, who then finds Landis. And then a foul called, and I think that'll be on Justin Johnson. But Johnson was still fighting for the ball. It'll be on Brian Rolfe. Fight for the ball into the basket, ends up in a Brian Rolfe foul and a turnover, so it'll send Landis to the line.
2:06 left in this game. We're going to be shooting a 1-and-1. Each team with 7 fouls now. Each team in the bonus.
63-56 the score. Landis makes it 64. There's been a few times this half where life has gone up by 10 points. Shawnee State keep fighting back, but unable to hold on to any kind of lead. So Landis up and good once again. So now 65-56, a 9-point lead for Life University. Jalen Carter over to Brian Rolfe. Rolfe off the screen. Fred Moore in the corner, an open three-point shot from Moore is no good, rebounded by Landis. Shawnee State shooting very poorly from beyond the arc. They're now 5 of 30. Landis stops at the top of the key. His pass to Mitchum is stolen away by Tamal Watkins, who tried to pass it to Jalen Carter, who was trailing behind him, but that pass goes out of bounds. So it'll be Shawnee State ball. Brian Rolfe inbound to Tamal Watkins. 1:34 left to play. Jalen Carter to Fred Moore, over to Brian Rolfe. Rolfe finds Justin Johnson down low outside. Jalen Carter for three. Top of the key, Jalen Carter no good. Rebounded by Justin Johnson. And then it's a jump ball.
Or a jump ball. Foul.
Well, there will be a foul. That is on number 10, David Scott.
So once again, this will probably be a 1-and-1. I don't think he was in the act of shooting when he was fouled. He was just rebounding.
Justin Johnson set for the 1-and-1. His first shot does not fall, so he will not get a chance at two. Rebounded by Scott. 65-56 and a reach-in call on Jalen Carter.
So we'll go back to the other end of the court shooting a 1-and-1. Both teams with 8 fouls now.
So Delano Thomas says, okay, timeout. Got to talk it over, boys. Down 9 with 1:16 left to play.
So we'll stay here. You're listening to CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports, in WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio. Not too far from here. It's about a 2-hour trek. Then another half an hour back to me in Wilmington. So we'll probably be back in bed by 1 o'clock. And then I'm up at 5 for the morning show, which starts at 7.
You'll be well rested then, is what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah,
Always.
Yeah. I will probably be numb. Tomorrow we've got Sean Poole, very, very talented singer, and plays a mean guitar. So he's going to be at the Village Pump in Jeffersonville this Saturday, but you'll get a chance to catch him, and maybe even you can ask for requests, because our morning show, it's on for 3 hours, and we stream it live on Facebook along with Over the Air and WZAA. Everything we do on WZAA is what we call virtual radio, virtual TV, live, low power, big impact. 1:16 remaining, 65-56. We're going to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. This will be the first shot.
9-point lead here for Life. The first shot does not fall, but it's rebounded by Mitchum. Life still have the ball. Guarded closely by Jalen Carter.
Another timeout.
Call a timeout.
So another quick timeout.
65-56 the score, 9-point lead for Life with 1:10 left to play. Both teams in the bonus. And a timeout consecutively from Coach Delano Thomas. And then right on the other end, Coach Keith Atkins. So it'll be Life ball coming out of the timeout. 24 on the shot clock. Landis inbound to Jay Johnson under the basket. He was wide open. Got the bucket. So now it's 67-56. A lot of threes should be flying up here for Shawnee State. Brian Rolfe driving. No call of foul there on David Scott. That'll send Brian Rolfe to the line for the 1-and-1. Rolfe first shot falls. 10-point lead now for Life. Rolfe's second shot does not fall. It's rebounded by the running Eagles. And Landis dribbling out of trouble finds David Scott. Scott and the intentional foul from Fred Moore. So here comes the fouling parade. This last minute might take 5.
Well, and with the next foul, we'll be in the double bonus.
David Scott at the line. Makes his first. Now an 11-point lead for the running Eagles. So Scott gets both. Now a 12-point ball game. Jalen Carter pulls up from 3 outside. That one's off the mark. Jay Johnson throws it off the body of Brian Rolfe.
I think he was actually on the line and out.
Oh, so, yep, you're right. That'll stay with Shawnee State. They'll say he stepped out of bounds before throwing it off Brian Rolfe. So Rolfe checks it in to Carter, to Fred Moore. Carter again from the corner 3. That one's up and no good once again. Shawnee State unable to get anything going from 3.
Quick
and
foul.
Another foul.
And this will be a double bonus shot.
So with 31 seconds to play, Sell behind Wills checks into the game for Shawnee State. They are down 12, 69-57 the score. So he hits his first. Mitchum makes it a 13-point lead for Life. Mitchum's second shot is up and good as well. 71-57 the score with 30 seconds to play. Sell behind Wills for three from the corner, no good. Rebounded by Landish. Landish dribbling out of pressure and another foul. That one I don't even think was intentional there from Sell behind Wills, but it'll send Landis to the line for two. (71-57) with less than 20 seconds to play. Zach Landis at the line for the Running Eagles. They're in the double bonus, so he'll shoot two. First one falls. 72-57 now. Landis gets both. Now it's 73-57. Shawnee State coming back down the floor. Tamal Watkins pulling up for three. Tamal's three is off the mark, no good. Now it's Mitchum. He won't have a shot clock. They'll likely dribble it out. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And that'll be it for the men's game. Shawnee State dropping this one at home to the Running Eagles of Life University, 73-57, the final score. Shawnee State ended up shooting 21-69 for 30%, 25-59 for the Running Eagles, 42% from the field for them. Some of the leading scorers for Shawnee State: Jalen Carter with 18, Fred Moore with 16, EJ Onu with 7, Sell behind Wills with 5, Brian Rolfe with 6, Justin Johnson with 3, and Tamal Watkins with 2. For the Running Eagles, it was Jay Johnson with 26 points. Zach Landis contributed 14. Undra Mitchum with 13. And Michael Miller finishes with 8 points in the Running Eagles win. With that win, Life University moves to 16-6 on the season and 4-2 in Mid-South Conference play. Shawnee State now falls to 10-11, 1-5 in the conference play. And we'll get Coach Delano Thomas mic'd up here for a short little talk. Want to not take too much of his time away, let him get down to the locker room. So Coach Thomas, Shawnee State dropping this one at home by a score of 73-57 to the number 25 ranked Life University. Coach, tough loss, obviously. What's the initial thoughts coming out of that one?
3 of 35 from 3. When we put pressure on them, got to the basket, we were a little more efficient. You can't shoot 5 for 23 and expect to win a game.
I told you I wasn't going to keep you too long, Coach, so I just want to point out a couple things here. Like you said, 5 of 35 from 3. You guys weren't really able to get hot. You had some highlights there in the first half. In the second half, though, really slowed down from the field as well. And did you feel like your guys were forcing anything, or was it the defense on the side of Life, but shooting 30% from the field and 15% from 3? How do you think you can build on that going into Cumberland on Saturday? I know that's going to be tough.
I feel for my guys, this was a great effort. Great effort in how hard they played together. Now the biggest thing is just to understand if the shot's not falling, get to the basket. That was working for us. We wore them down. That was part of the game plan. We just didn't stick to the side as far as playing inside out. We should have went inside a little bit more, finished at that rim, put a little bit more pressure on them instead of just settling for the 3. So now it's just to go down here and talk to them about our awareness leading to this next game, because we're playing against a Cumberland team that's very good as well.
Yep, absolutely. And one more thing, kind of want to point out a highlight here. You guys forced 13 turnovers. Seemed like that full court press really started to work there towards the end, and I know that's really important to your team's identity, running that press through and through. There was a lot of improvement in the second half. It seemed like you forced a lot of turnover on the inbound. What were you saying to your guys at halftime to keep the pressure on?
Before the game, we talked about first 26 minutes of the game. So That being the first half is a 20, and then the 6 minutes coming in the second half, we knew their legs should be where we need them to be. Then just at that point, we didn't do our job as far as being efficient offensively. We did a great job getting ourselves back into the game, actually having a lead at one point.
Yep.
Now at home, we just got to be able to hold that lead. So.
All right, Coach. Like I said, I wouldn't hold you too long. Again, the Bears fall to 10-11 on the season. Thanks for talking with us, Coach. We'll see you on
Appreciate
Saturday.
It.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
So that will just about wrap it up for us for Campus Nation and Shawnee State. So a win for the girls, and the boys take a tough loss here at home. Any initial thoughts after that one, Rick?
Well, it was very similar to the game that we watched when we were here once before, and that was the guys, in the second half made a run, and it just fell short. I can't really say that it had anything to do with endurance or anything like that. I think that it's just, once again, I think as Coach was saying, the threes probably were maybe poorer shot selection. He would have preferred to see them try to drive and go in more. I know they had a big guy under the basket that was he was knocking a few away, but at least in this way you have more of an opportunity to go to the line, stop the clock, which gives you some time to catch up if you continue to drive and get fouled like that.
Yep, and with them being back in action here at home against another Mid-South opponent on Saturday, I'm hoping they can build on some of those things, and maybe the three ball will be flying a little bit better for them on Saturday.
Well, we want to thank everyone for tuning in, those that are in the Jeffersonville area and also anywhere around the Campus Nation network, including the individuals that might be watching from Georgia and from that area down there. Thanks again for listening to WZAA in Jeffersonville and watching on CampusNation.com, the sports animal. Good night, everybody.